What's up, everybody? This is Mr. Howard, and I got some 2K16 gameplay here for you guys to watch in the background. But the point of today's video is to do a quick response to THATbeautifulpunk. If you don't know her, she is a YouTuber who does mostly reactions or recaps to a lot of the wrestling events and shows that take place. She is notably a huge Seth Rollins fan. And a pretty notable hater of Roman Reigns, to put it lightly. Recently, she did a video that included myself, and I just wanted to make a couple points about the characters that wrestlers play, and our responses as fans to those characters. So I've been watching wrestling for a long time. I was a huge fan of guys like Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage, the Ultimate Warrior, guys with really big characters back in the day, and the same can be said for guys like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels. And today I am a huge fan of guys like John Cena and Randy Orton, guys that just have personas that really strike something within you, whether you like them or you don't like them. And I have to say, Seth Rollins is one of those people. In my opinion, I am not a big fan of him. I do not love the character that he plays. I do not like his gimmick, and I have to say I respect what he does as a wrestler. I think he is tremendously talented, but the character that he plays is not something that I'm a fan of. Now, from THATbeautifulpunk's perspective, she would probably say that Roman Reigns doesn't really have the skill to, cut a good promo. She might not say he's very good at wrestling in general. I believe she said that before, that he's not a good wrestler. I would disagree. Kindly, I would disagree. Roman Reigns is a very good wrestler. I will not speak for his mic skills. Those obviously could use a little bit of, practice, a little bit more time to make him a better character. But guys like Dean Ambrose, guys like Cesaro. Cesaro is a perfect example of a wrestler who is a tremendous athlete. He is a tremendous performer, but he either hasn't been giving, the right time or the right opportunity to speak on the mic, or maybe he doesn't have the skill to really succeed at that. We don't know in his case. With Roman, I would say he has definitely been given the opportunity, and he has not necessarily, made us, or I guess you could say he hasn't really proved the haters wrong on that point. When it comes to his wrestling, in-ring wrestling, I can't understand anyone who says that he is not a good wrestler. If you're talking like mat wrestling or submission wrestling or high flying, I guess there's a point to be made there, but wrestlers don't have to be good at all of those kinds of wrestling. There are many different ways to partake in a wrestling match. And when you take a match like he had with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, I believe a year ago, that was a tremendous match. He has had great matches with the other two guys in the Shield, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. He's had great matches with Daniel Bryan and Triple H. And I mean, everyone's gonna have a match here or there that isn't great, but I have to say I have been impressed with him in many cases. Now, that is not to say that the other wrestlers are not good at what they do. You take a guy like Seth Rollins, as I said, he is a tremendous performer, tremendous athlete, and I respect the hell out of him for what he does. But I also don't say that he's the greatest wrestler of all time. Or if you want to take someone like John Cena, for example, I know Angie has said many times that she can't stand John Cena. Now, I think she hates Roman Reigns a little bit more, and I suppose I could understand the reasoning behind that. But, you know, you have guys like John Cena who clearly have been the face of the company for a reason, who have been given the opportunities they have for a reason. He is a tremendous performer, arguably the best promo cutter in wrestling right now, and he has not only evolved from having the 5 moves of death to having a great ensemble of moves in his in his pocket, but he's actually utilized them more recently than he ever has before. I mean, yeah, he still has his main gimmick that he stays true to, but you can say the same about any wrestler. Every wrestler has their signature move, they have their finishing move, they have their, interaction with the crowd at some point during the match, whether that is a positive or a negative one. And I have to say, I have been a huge fan of John Cena since he debuted, and that has never dwindled. Now, I'm never going to say he is godly, that he is such a good wrestler no one could ever, come close to toppling him. But if someone else said that, I would definitely comment and say, well, look, you're not really being, you're not really taking into consideration all of the points that need to be taken into consideration here. I mean, yes, he's a good wrestler, but, you have guys that, like, CM Punk is a tremendous example, who deserve, the spotlight, or deserve a title match, or deserve promo time that Cena may take up sometimes. And I don't want a guy like Cena, even though he's very good at what he does, to be the only one that gets that attention. Now, with that being said, I have to assume that Angie, that beautiful punk, is kind of taking on some kind of a character, taking on some kind of a gimmick on her YouTube channel. I do this, a lot of other YouTubers, most YouTubers do this, unless they're vlogging or doing something very, very personal, and that's perfectly fine. But you have to understand that there's a difference between being a YouTuber with a character and just straight up being a troll. And I have said many things before, both on my channel and commenting on other people's channels, that were, kind of meant to get under people's skin in some way. But, everybody does that. So, if Angie does that on her channel, that's fine. But she has to understand that you can't just do that all the time. You have to have a realistic moment at some point where you come out and say, look, Seth Rollins is my favorite wrestler. This is why I think he deserves to be the world champion. Lay it out and actually give your reasoning. And I'm not saying you don't have reasoning here, because you clearly do. Seth Rollins is a tremendous athlete. But when you go and hate on other wrestlers because they're not Rollins, or because they feud with Rollins, or whatever it is, you can't just say, example, Roman Reigns is a terrible wrestler and I wish he would, get injured or retire or go to a different company. She was watching the draft and she was hoping he went to SmackDown because she didn't want him on the same show as Rollins. I get it. You can have your opinions. You can voice your opinions. But don't do it to the point where it's just straight up hate. And if you do, full on expect that people are gonna respond. Now, I'm not gonna let this video go on. You can see the match ended. Dean Ambrose won the match. as I have predicted that he will do this weekend. But I just had to make this video because it seems like people, and this isn't just in reference to Angie here, but it seems like a lot of people don't know how to take criticism, and if they receive criticism, they don't always know how to respond to it in a, I guess you could say, diplomatic manner. If you want to talk, let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Comment on this video, send me a message, or don't. It doesn't matter to me. But just know that if you say or do something that doesn't seem to be right, if you make an assumption or an assertion that is false, people will call you out on it, and you have to be prepared for that. And you can't just go and assume that these people are delusional or are just kind of doing it to, piss you off, when honestly, we're really just here to kind of fact check you and bring you back down to earth when you get a little carried away. With that being said, I want to thank Angie for, in effect, giving me a shout out. I've definitely enjoyed being a part of this. I don't plan on making another video at this time. If she wants to continue this discussion in any way, I am more than willing to do so. But until something of that is brought to my attention, I want to thank you guys for watching. Feel free to leave a like or dislike. Especially feel free to leave a comment on this video. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, as it will only make me, give me more of an incentive to make content for you guys and, just kind of have fun. And we're going to be posting a recap of Battleground pretty soon, and I'm not sure if my weekly recap for this week is out yet, but that will also be uploaded either today or tomorrow. Until next time, again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all real soon.